The Outsider by Albert Camus. Right, so this is a book that's quite famous for being like one of those deep philosophical books, and I'm going to make quite clear right at the beginning that I do not have anything intelligent to say about this. I'm not going to be able to analyze the philosophy intelligently or anything like that. I'm just going to talk about the reading experience. So yeah, this book is called The Outsider. Sometimes it's called The Stranger. I mean, it's translated from a French book, so the English names vary a bit. Camus is one of the famous philosophers of the 20th century. I often hear this book also kind of listed in like books for rebels, or like books for, well, yeah, books for rebels. It seems to kind of get mentioned in those lists quite often. I saw it in a bookstore. I thought, yeah, I'll give it a try, and I picked it up. So I think maybe a lot of people can identify with this. You hear like a name like Albert Camus, you know he's like this famous French existentialist philosopher, and you think, oh, geez, I can't possibly read that book. It's going to be way too difficult for me. The good news is it's actually a very easy read. So it's not like James Joyce or Faulkner or anything like that, where you've got to kind of struggle through the book. As a novel, it reads quite easily. Now, I'm sure there's tons of symbolism that I didn't understand. There's probably all this meaning and philosophy that went right over my head. But in terms of like reading the story is perfectly readable, and it can be read just as a story. So like, even though I'm sure there's lots of stuff I missed, you can still enjoy the book. One of these days I'm going to have to buy the Cliff Notes and then just kind of go through the Cliff Notes with the book so I can understand all the symbolism that probably I didn't even catch. That being said, there were some pretty obvious stuff in here. Even if you're dense like me, there are some themes that are very explicitly spelled out. Parts about believing in God or not. Parts about the death penalty, like those sections of the book, it was very obvious what they're talking about. And another selling point of this book is it's really short. It's 120 pages. I read the whole thing in 2 days, found it totally painless, even enjoyed it a little bit. I can't really vouch for anything else that Albert Camus has written. But if you've been avoiding this book because you think it's going to be too difficult, it's totally not difficult, at least on the surface level. And that's all I've got. I guess if you're looking for more analysis of this, check out somebody else's channel.